Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by MMA veteran Jorge Lopez. George, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing good. George, you got a fight coming up January 24th at Showdown Fights 13. How's training been going for the fight?
Been going good, man. The guys over here at Syndicate really are helping me. Been training a lot with Gil Martinez too, my boxing coach, and really just trying to get the last 2 weeks, just trying to get the weight down and just staying focused,
Now, how long have you been training at Syndicate MMA? Because it seems like all the big gyms in Las Vegas, all the top guys from all those gyms have kind of migrated there. Just curious, how long have you been training with those guys there?
Let's see, it's been about a year now. About a year and a half maybe, on and off. I got injured a couple times, so I took some time off, and I've just been there. I was over at Drysdale's as well. That was going good also, but it's kind of a bit of a drive for me now, so I'm just staying at Syndicate for now.
Now, where is Gil Martinez coaching? Is he at Syndicate or is he somewhere else? Because he kind of went away for a little while. Yeah, he just opened his own. Him and Ricardo Cavalcante. I'm not sure if you know who that is. He's a black belt jiu-jitsu guy. He opened his new gym over by. I don't know if you're familiar with Vegas. It's on Sunset and near the airport. But him and Ricardo opened their own gym, and he's doing my private lessons over there. He also has his boxing classes there as well. But like I said, I go from Syndicate over to Gil and back and forth. Just curious, why did you decide to start training at Syndicate? Was it just simply because all the other top guys from the area are training there now, so it kind of makes sense for you to train with those guys, or was there another reason why you decided to leave Vanderlei's gym to go over to Syndicate?
Yeah, you're right. It's just getting the new bodies, getting a new new group of guys, and actually just more. I feel comfortable with the guys there at Syndicate. I've known them for a while. Actually, I've known them for like 4 or 5 years. I used to train over at Warrior. It was the same staff, the same coaches, and like I said, I just like a fresh start. I guess new guys, new coaches, new management. It's worked out well, so that's really just the only reason.
Who's your manager now?
Mike Kelly from Rooster.
Okay.
Rooster Management. Yeah.
Okay. And now you mentioned some of your coaches. John Wood, he's the head coach at Syndicate. Percentage-wise, how much percentage would you say that you work with him as opposed to those other guys?
Well, he usually teaches classes every day. I mean, he's there Monday through Friday teaching the MMA class. The sparring, the wrestling. Right. He's there always, giving his input. Like Johnny Nunez, I don't know if you know who that is. He's a wrestler. He does the wrestling classes on Wednesdays. So, I mean, really 100% of the time he's there. He's always there watching us. He's always there making sure that we're doing the right thing. As far as, one-on-ones, I hardly do any one-on-ones with him. If anything, I do more of my one-on-ones with Gil. And I don't know if you know Nate Petit also. I do my one-on-ones with him, Nate Petit, Gil, and John Gunderson.
Okay. And sparring partner-wise, who are some of the guys that you're going with? Obviously, you have a plethora of guys to train with there. Who are they?
Phil Dace is one of the good ones. He's a real tough kid. I always spar with him. Mike Pyle, he's there. Let's see. I don't know if you know Stung Gun Kim. He was there. He's been there this week, so I've been going with him a little bit.
Dung Young Kim is training there?
Yeah, he was there today. He's been there this whole week, since last week actually, but he's going to be here for a whole week.
Oh, I see.
And we get random guys all the time. We get guys coming in. Jay Huron used to come in. I haven't seen him in a while, but he used to come in there. Tavares used to come in also. I've seen him here there before. A while back. It's just hit and miss. A lot of the guys that I go with also are just guys that nobody really knows. A lot of the amateur guys who are just coming up who are really good as well.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. With you being in Las Vegas, there's bodies coming in and out all the time. I think Chael Sonnen did some training there recently, right?
Yeah, he was there. I wasn't able to meet him. I was injured at the time, but yeah, I saw that he'd come in, and I think he helped a little bit with the class. So that would have been cool. But yeah, I mean, guys are constantly coming in, and it's just, it's awesome. I love it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like you definitely got a good group there, and I've talked to a bunch of the guys from Syndicate, and I like to hear everyone's perspective, because I think it's really cool how everyone's come together, because for a long time all these great guys were training in different places. Now obviously some of those guys were crossing over, like you mentioned. You did do some training with Robert Drysdale and stuff like that, but I like to hear the different points of view from all the fighters who are training there now. But moving on to January 24th, you're going to be taking on David Castillo. I saw the promo video for the event. It seems like there's some bad blood there. Is there? Do you have some kind of issue with David Castillo?
No. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. I haven't even seen it.
Really?
I haven't seen the video yet. So there's no bad blood, actually. I mean, I respect him like I respect any other opponent. I mean, he's obviously going to be. I'm sure he's going to be ready. I'm sure he's training his ass off. And so am I. It's more of a personal thing, than anything for me. I mean, with myself, I have to prove to myself that I belong back in the UFC, and that I gotta win these fights, and I gotta, excuse the language, I gotta get back in there, stay focused, and just take it out on him, I guess, if that's what I gotta do.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting you said that you didn't get to meet Chael Sonnen when he was at Syndicate training, because you cut a promo beautifully. You did a great job in that promo. I'm fired up. I can't wait for the fight. You did a very good job, and I'm disappointed that you haven't seen it, but it's a great promo. And in that promo, you said that you're taking the approach in this fight that you don't really care what happens. You don't really care if you go in there and knock him out, or he goes in there and knocks you out. Why have you decided to take this kind of new approach to the fight? Is it kind of because of the way your UFC run went, where it didn't go your way? Is it based on that? Is it just the way?
Honestly, the way my entire career has gone, in my opinion, I have the tools that you need to win, to knock somebody out, or to submit someone, or to actually, just to finish the fight. A lot of my fights that I haven't finished because of lack of aggression, also maybe just being overcautious, not overthinking things, not getting hit, trying to be perfect, trying not to get taken down, trying not to get touched. And yeah, I've won a lot. I've won almost all of my fights. Even if you watch the Amir fight, I believe I won that fight.
Right.
Had I been a little bit more aggressive, and had I actually pressed the action, I think I would have, probably could have finished him. So that's why now I've changed my style and my way of thinking and my style of fighting, where it's just more, I have to push forward. I have to actually finish these guys so that the UFC can look at me again and want me to be on their show. I have to go out there and prove to everyone, what I really have. Also, I think it comes with age. I'm 25 now, I'm no longer 22 when I was in the UFC. You kind of grow up and you realize what you have to do. There's no more. You rarely get a second chance. And then I want that. And if I get it, then I'm take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, was that the main thing you took away from your UFC run, that you need to be more aggressive, or were there other things that you sat down and thought about once you got that release and said, what, this, so on and so forth, need to get fixed? Was it mainly just get more aggressive, or were there other things involved?
The number one thing was actually, was honestly, believing in myself more than anything, believing my power, believing in my talent, opposed to always second guessing it. That was the number one thing that I've taken from all of my fights, because every time I left a fight, I thought to myself, you could have done more, could have done this, could have done that. Besides that, I guess just living the lifestyle of a fighter, living the lifestyle, actually growing up and realizing you have to, dedicate yourself full time to this. It's not, it's not a part-time job. It's not something where you're just gonna, do it for, just for fun. It is fun. It's fun to me. I love to do it. But it's, being more serious about the sport and actually taking it to heart, being more serious about it. Also, I have a kid now, so that also changes a little bit. Changed my way of thinking and my way of my approach on MMA.
Mm-hmm. Just curious, your UFC run, was it too much too soon, or do you think it happened at the right time?
Everything happens for a reason, man. Honestly, I take it as a learning experience. I was 22 at the time. I was young. I'm not, it's not an excuse at all. Crap, any kid, I think if you ask him if, he wants to be in the UFC at that age, he'll tell you, heck yeah, I want to be in the UFC. I think it was a little soon. I didn't have the experience. I don't think to be 100% honest with you, I don't think that I really even, I don't want to say I didn't deserve it. I think I didn't, See, my approach now to returning to the UFC is more on, I want to go in, even if it takes me 5 fights or 10 fights. I want to win these fights in a dominant fashion. I want to go in there with, not leaving it to the judges. There's no questioning about it. This kid deserves to be in the UFC. Not, he's won 5 decisions against guys who are pretty good, and all right, let's give him a shot. You know what I mean? I want to prove it to myself. I want to prove it to everybody else that I do belong in the UFC.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, you had a gap between the Amir Sadal fight and the Brandon Melendez fight. Was that solely because of injuries, or did you have to do some soul searching in that time gap, that year-plus gap that you had in between fights?
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, man. Honestly, both. I broke my hand, so I was out for 4 months. And also, I needed a break. I've been doing the sport since I was 14. I've been training in wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, everything, and it just kind of, I was in the UFC, I got released, and, I wanted a break. Honestly, I just said, you know what, I'm going to give it a year. I told myself, I'm going to give it a year. I'm going to, just still, do cardio lift, train whenever I feel like I want to train for fun, just to relieve that pressure, to just kind of just have the hunger again, that I want to get back in, the hunger of wanting to train and wanting to go in there and wrestle and take someone down and sprawl someone out, or it's a passion, and it was almost gone there for a minute after the UFC. Now, there was a plan. There's always a plan, I always think, and that was my plan, to take a year off and then slowly but surely, get back into it and give it another run.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, last time out, you fought Brandon Melendez at Showdown Fights 12. You won the fight by first-round TKO. How pleased were you with your performance in the fight?
It was good, man. I mean, it was good. I was really happy the way it ended. However, I'm not gonna. It's just another fight. It's right. It's not a title. It's not. Right. It's not a fight in the UFC. It's not. You know what I mean? So it's just I just look forward to the next one, and there's always bigger things ahead of you. And I was happy that I won, obviously, but I'm just focused on the bigger picture, and that's looking into the future, and achieving my ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a contract with Showdown Fights, or have you just been doing single bout agreements?
Just single fights.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Now, this fight between you and David Castillo is going to be the main event for Showdown Fights 13. Just curious, when was the last time you headlined a card?
Before, I think it was Tachi Palace. I want to say it was Tachi Palace.
Is that something that's important to you, being the main event, or does it really not matter where you fight on the card?
No, it doesn't matter. Honestly, being the main event almost kind of adds an extra, not pressure, it's just kind of like the anxiousness of wanting to go out there and actually just fighting, Mm-hmm. Just sitting in the back waiting, bout after bout after bout after bout after bout. I hate doing that. I hate waiting. I feel like I like being maybe right in the middle, like maybe 4th or 5th fight. That way, you're warm, you're ready to go, and you're not too. It's not too late into the night. But it is what it is. We have to adapt. We have to go in there and fight. So,
mm-hmm. It's pretty obvious that your goal is to make it back to the UFC, but I'm just curious, if World Series of Fighting or Bellator was to come in with a very generous offer, would you ever consider that?
I don't know. I would have to talk to my manager. Honestly, I've only been with Mike, not even for a month, and I already feel closer to him as a manager than I felt with any manager ever. So I definitely would have to just ask him and ask for his opinion and listen to him. He's I take everything he says seriously, and he's a very smart guy. So it would definitely be a team decision. But yeah, I spoke with Ray Seffel about a year ago. Right after the UFC. Maybe about 6 months after the UFC, something like that. I think it was back in I want to say back in February. I spoke with Ray. He told me, he didn't promise anything. He said, yeah, we'll consider it. They did. They told me they'd get me on the card. They did send me a contract. I did sign it. I sent it back, but I never heard back from them. So must have got lost in the papers, in the paperwork. I don't know. I kind of just gave up on that route, and just just I wasn't even sure if I was ready to fight yet, to be honest with you. So we have spoke, but nothing too serious. Again, like I said, I know it's something that me and Mike would have to decide on, and but yeah.
Now, this fight on January 24th, just curious, I think Orem, Utah is where this fight's going to be taking place. You've lived in Utah in the past. How close is it to where you used to live?
It's about an hour, hour and a half.
And are you expecting a pretty big crowd? I'm sure you're hoping that the crowd will be on your side, but will it be a good crowd?
I think we're both from Ogden. I think David's from Ogden as well. So I'm sure we're going to have a split right down the middle. I'm hoping a lot of my friends come out. I know my family's going to be there. I know my close friends are going to be there. It's just honestly, it'd be awesome to see that, to hear that crowd. Just yelling, and even the split between my crowd and his crowd. That's always exciting too.
So a little bit of bragging rights on the line here.
Not even bragging rights. I just think it's fun. I mean, to me, it's awesome. I love the energy from people. I love the energy. I've never felt, honestly, before the Amir fight, I've never actually embraced the crowd. Up until that fight with Amir, I took a second to actually kind of listen to the screens and to just embrace the energy. And it's honestly, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool feeling.
Brandon Melendez, your opponent last time, he's a UFC vet like yourself. When you got the offer for David Castillo, were you hoping that you were going to get a guy like Melendez, a guy who fought in the UFC before? Because David Castillo, he's a very tough guy, quality opponent, but he doesn't have the kind of name recognition that some of the guys who are floating around right now on the regional circuit are. Were you hoping that you were going to get an ex-UFC guy, or did it really not matter who they gave you, just as long as
I wanted somebody who, obviously with a winning record. I mean, that's always important. Somebody with a winning record, and definitely somebody with a name. When somebody offers you a fight, I'm not going to be picky. I'm not going to, you never know. I might not be fighting until May or, April, May, June, who knows? A lot of cards, there aren't very many cards nowadays, to fight on. I mean, there are. It's just, you got to really search, you know what I mean? You really got to look. So when I got the offer, I didn't complain. I said, yeah, let's do it.
What I was kind of getting at is, let's say if you go in and stop him the same way you stopped Brandon Melendez, do you think that'll be enough to get the UFC to get their eyes back on you? I mean, obviously, it's hard to predict what they're going to do.
I don't want to be back in yet, to be honest with you.
Really?
Even after this fight, say I win by knockout or submission or however, I don't personally even want to. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm even ready. Yeah, I'm not mentally ready. I'm not physically ready. I'm not. I want to be. You know what I mean? I want to be. It's kind of hard to explain. I want to actually go in there and maybe get a little more experience on the outside, fight some real tough dudes on the outside before I go back in there and face the real big tough guys. The real good guys there.
So if you defeat
Shark Tank in the UFC, you know how it is. Everybody's good. Everyone's 100%.
Right. So on January 25th, the 24th you beat Dave Castillo. The 25th, Joe Silva calls you. What do you tell him?
I don't know. I mean, hypothetically speaking, if he calls me and says, "Hey, dude, we need you in 4 weeks, 8 weeks," I mean, I don't want to offend him, so I'm probably going to say yeah. But ideally, I would want to fight a couple more times and really, sink my teeth in some real good guys, some real good fights.
Now, obviously, not looking past David Castillo at all, but is there anyone out there on the regional circuit right now that you want that you'd like to fight?
Not really. Just anybody who has a name, anybody who's doing good. Anybody who has a good record, anybody tough to really push me to my limits, to really find out what I really am made of. Somebody who actually can just take me to that third round and just put it on me. Who knows? Just a tough fight. That's what I want.
There's a lot of good guys floating around.
I'm probably going to find it here with Dave. You never know. Dave's a tough dude. I've seen him fight. He hits hard. He's a grinder. So. Just a good fight. That's what I'm looking for, and I'm looking to, like I said, prove it to myself more than anyone else. Really, that this is for me, and that I do belong in the UFC.
Right now, there's a bunch of good guys floating around. Paul Daly, Ben Askren, Ben Saunders, a bunch of good guys. Any of those guys interest you?
I would love to fight. Yeah, of course. Of course, I'd love to fight those guys.
Yeah, those are good matchups. I like those, and people are always talking.
Paul Daly, where is he at? Where is he fighting? Is he fighting for, what is it? No, he's not fighting for 1FC, is he?
He's fighting for Bama in the UK.
Okay, and then Askren is fighting for one, I believe, right?
1FC, correct. And then Ben Saunders, he just got released from Bellator, so he's a free agent right now.
Ben Saunders.
Yeah, he fought in the UFC, and then he fought for Bellator.
I think so, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, real tall guy, bald head, beard.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about exactly now. Yeah, definitely, yeah. So he's good. He's real good knees, real good Muay Thai long range, obviously. Yeah, dude, any of those guys, man, really would be awesome. See those guys right there, that's definitely a fight that I know damn well would be a good fight.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Now, for some of these fights, you mentioned that you're pretty much open to fighting anybody. Location-wise, are you hoping to go international, or would you prefer to just stay in the U.S.?
I think it'd be cool to go international. I think it'd be fun. I'm not sure how much that would really affect my my fighting, my wind or sleep wise. I really don't know. I don't really think of those things, but I think it'd be really fun to go out of the country, and find a different country. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. George, last question. When you play this fight in your head, the fight between you and David Castillo, how do you see it ending?
I don't know, man. I want to knock him out. I do want to finish the fight.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. George, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank, and is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Yeah, I want to thank Strikers Only. They're a company out of California. I love those guys. I want to thank Knockout Fightwear here in Las Vegas. Also want to thank, I don't know, honestly, just Syndicate, my gym. I want to thank Gil Martinez. I want to thank John Gunderson, John Wood, all the guys over there, and my family, my girlfriend, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm. George, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck January 24th at Showdown Fights 13 against David Castillo.
Thanks, man. I appreciate the interview.